Here now, Stephen Miller, former White House senior advisor under President Trump, and Monica Crowley, former assistant secretary of the Treasury. Stephen, they're not asleep at the wheel. They're wide awake, and they're driving us right off the cliff, it looks like, whether it's the Ukraine money spigot, it's never going to turn off, or any of the DEI or woke stuff they're doing. And meanwhile, it looks like there could be a continued run on some of these regional banks.
Well, you're right, Laura. It's all deliberate, and it's a mistake to think that they're too busy or they're too distracted or they're too confused. They have an agenda, and you mentioned it. They implemented this executive order. They wrote it 4 weeks ago that Biden signed that says equity or DEI is the core mission of every single agency in the federal government. In other words, they went around the country the way the executives at Silicon Valley Bank ran that financial institution. Take huge, risky gambles on crazy woke projects, crazy climate projects, virtue signaling with no financial integrity, no financial soundness underneath, and this whole country is going to go the way of Silicon Valley Bank if we don't change direction.
And Monica, you'll love this because, you were you're up so early when you were working at the Treasury Department. You work so many long hours. But ahead of Biden's speech this morning, Jen Psaki gave us all some insight into his rigorous schedule.
Now, it's important to note, President Biden does nothing at 9 a.m. He is a night owl. So the fact that he is doing this at 9 a.m. anyway speaks to how vital the White House recognizes it is for him to have his voice out there.
Monica, are they kidding me? He's supposed to get a gold star for doing something at 9 a.m.? This is hard to believe.
So his former press secretary is now admitting on national television that the president of the United States is not functional at 9 o'clock in the morning. And she blames that on him being a night owl. But there are all of these stories saying, no, he goes to bed early. So, we have a part-time president who's in the process of deliberately destroying the United States of America. Stephen is right. We have been making this point a long time. If this all weren't deliberate, from the takedown of the U.S. economy, the wide open border, cities in collapse, sky-high inflation, sky-high crime rates, he would have changed course by now, and he hasn't. So again, they have set this country on a trajectory of absolute and utter ruin. To Stephen's point about equity and his executive order shooting this through the entire United States government, all of the executive branch offices, this is cultural and economic Marxism. There is no other way of putting it. Woke, DEI, ESG, all of these things, social justice, they're all euphemisms for cultural and economic Marxism. And this is where we are, this long march of the socialists through our institutions over many decades. The chickens are coming home to roost now. These are all of these institutions. It's no longer about their core mission, whether it's banking or running the federal government. It is about the fundamental transformation of the nation, and now here we are.
Now, Stephen, another alarming point. Michael Schellenberger reported today that during a conference call about the Silicon Valley Bank bailout, Senator Mark Kelly asked representatives from the Fed, the Treasury Department, and the FDIC if they had a way to censor information on social media to prevent a run on the banks. Stephen, whether it's COVID or something with Ukraine or their racism, racializing everything obsession, they want censorship. Period. They don't need an excuse to censor.
That's right. They wrote the playbook with COVID, and now they're using it for everything. You can't question their narrative on Ukraine. You certainly can't question their narrative on critical race theory and gender theory. And now you can't even question Joe Biden's banking policies without Democrat senators calling for you to be censored. This is Marxism, as Monica said. This isn't the old school liberalism that we grew up with. This is hardcore authoritarian Marxism trying to squelch the free speech and the freedom of Americans. And might I just add that now that we know that Joe Biden doesn't do anything at all until 9 o'clock in the morning, it's safe to say that we know if enemies attack us, it'll be sometime between 6 and 8 o'clock in the morning in all likelihood, because apparently Joe Biden will not be able to get out of bed.
All right, Monica, would Steve Mnuchin would have agreed to this kind of a bailout of the bank?
I don't know. That's an interesting question. Look, this bank is Silicon Valley. It's green energy all the way. Heavy Democratic connections, including to Maxine Waters, including to Gavin Newsom. So I think, look, these are all very difficult political calculations when you're in an emergency. But we do know that there are heavy Democratic ties between this bank, the founders of the bank, and heavy Democratic players. So it's no surprise that Biden and his team are moving in.
Yeah, we need subpoenas, Laura. House needs a subpoena. Let's get to the bottom of it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's got to be consequences for this nonsense. And Republicans shouldn't be for these bailouts, period. End of story. Stephen, Monica, great to see you both.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.